After the bills were passed, DDA parliamentarian Jennifer van der Heever alerted the House to the lack of quorum in the National Assembly, as only 32 voting members were present, which is below the required 53. The National Assembly required 28 members to constitute a working quorum, but needs more for voting purposes. This is the first time the issue of the quorum was raised since the 2014 third constitutional amendment, which increased members of the National Assembly from 72 to 104. DDA President McHenry Venani argued that it would be unconstitutional to pass the two bills without the required voting quorum of 53 members, and thus called on the presiding officer to reverse the passing of the two bills.
What we are trying to avoid is illegality. Of course, it falls in the ambit of the members of the House to have raised the point of order, and it's a mistake that it was not raised. But it does not denote nor negate the fact that when we realize that that decision was taken illegally, it is illegal.
Attorney General Saki Shangale felt that the requirement of the 53 voting members only applied to cases where the House was divided and needed to vote for the bills to be passed. But since the House is in agreement of the passing of the bills, there would be no need for the 53 voting members.
So the intention required here is not that we at every time look at the high threshold majority vote, a majority quorum as the minimum quorum required for our attendance, but it is the minimum one for any voting. And if adoption requires voting, then in that event, that matter would have to stand until the next opportunity when the quorum is reached in that duality, the relevant quorum, and then it would be determined.
The House could, however, not agree, which forced the Deputy Speaker, Loida Kasingo, to call for a break to consult with the National Assembly's legal advisors on the matter. After consultation, the Deputy Speaker decided that the process would be revisited when there is enough voting members to constitute a voting quorum. Salmi Hangula, NBC News, Parliament.